So we will kick off then, please, with a planning overview from Andrew Thompson. Thank you.
Right. Hopefully you can all see this. So that's me. This is about Northstowe, and apologies to those who've been to many meetings and seen a lot of these kind of slides before and a lot of these issues before. So it's going to be a quick roll through of the whole of Northstowe. So it's a development that's been going on for just over 20 years now. It started off at 6,000 homes, it went up to 8,000 homes, and it now stands at 10,000 homes, and that has been the position for just over 13 years. South Cambridgeshire District Council adopted its local plan in 2018, and that formally allocated what was previously known as the reserve land as a formal housing site, and that now comprises of the site that is known as Northstowe Phase 3B. Phase 1 was granted outline planning permission in 2014, Phase 2, 2017, and there's been a number of detailed submissions particularly for Phase 1, but also a couple for Phase 2, and a number of conditions of the two outlines have already been discharged. So Phase 1, we're currently at 560 occupations. All L&Q, or Gallagher as they used to be called, are the master developer, and they're working on commercial elements at the moment, and open space areas. There's also a number, all the housing parcels now have planning permission or detailed planning permission. Issues we've been aware of, and we're now working through enforcement issues more proactively regarding working practices and the delivery, and a number of other kind of things are being progressively tackled and resolved. This is what Phase 1 looked like at April last year. Apologies, we haven't had time to update the plan as yet, but as you can see there, if we refer to parcel H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, H7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, and then 13. Next to parcel 13 is the Faith and Community land. The primary school is already built as a Pathfinder school. And then there's the Western Park, which is largely now seeded. And then there's the sports pavilion and allotment land. And the local square, obviously, also completed. And the 5 hectares of employment land is the commercial element. Phase 2, as I said, was granted planning permission in 2017. It was 3,500 homes in the town centre, but it also included the Southern Access Road West, which, if you drive up the B1050, you'll be able to see the roundabout connecting Northstowe to the Southern Access to the B150 road. The education campus is being delivered by the County Council separately under a separate planning permission, although it formed part of the outline planning permission as well. The town centre strategy has now been approved, and work on the buildings and new town is starting to take place. And the Civic Hub will be one of the first buildings, which will include the health centre, library, community uses, and also we expect some other uses as well. We haven't designed them yet. We're starting to work on those kind of issues, and obviously there will be community engagement as part of that strategy. Phase 2A, which is Urban Splash, I'm not going to go into that too much, but I've got some more plans on that. And Phase 2B, which is the other bit that's next to Rampton Drift. No plans been submitted as yet. I'm not aware that a development partner has been selected, and so we don't really have much detail to share on that. So in terms of the town centre, this is what the first buildings that will be built. Rampton Drift is up at the top here. This is the play area. And again, the first buildings will be around the Market Hall and the Civic Hub, and first parts of the town park, which are known as the town gardens, which will connect in to the education campus. Can't complete the town centre itself, looks something along those kind of lines, but obviously that is some distance away yet. And again, buildings will be delivered over the course of time. So phase 2A, for those who was approved in February last year, or this year, it seems so long ago now, but this was the site layout, older person restricted accommodation, and the peninsula, which are the first bits that are being delivered. 2-story on the edge, and then the staggered build to the edge of Rampton Drift. As you can see, all the trees and green space is being retained, and that was part of the original plan. And obviously the busway going through the centre. And there is some new commercial space here in the centre of the development. So this is what an image of the southern end of the Rampton Drift. So the play area is immediately to the left of this, and there you can see the 2-story buildings and the staggered approach to the design. Again, some of the other aspects. This is a part of what we call the urban park quarter in terms of the designs. And again, this was one of the images used at the planning committee, showing the scale of the buildings. Again, 2-story on the edge. There was some 3-story, but then the parameter plan complied with in terms of this aspect. But any breaches or changes in the parameter plan were discussed and outlined in the committee report, and also given a fair and significant airing at the committee itself. Again, this is the site layout. This shows some of the kind of features that we're introducing in terms of, or the Urban Splash will be introducing, well, not we, in terms of the busway, neighbourhood pocket parks, local areas of play, new woodland, new tree planting, drainage swales that go into the main swale, the water park here on the right, and another number of other aspects running through the scheme. Rampton Drift, as I said, we gave that very detailed and careful consideration during the design process. There were a number of kind of issues that we discussed and talked about. This was the actual, I think, the consultation in itself. This is what it looked like in November last year when I did my site visit, which was during the application phases. Obviously, does look a bit different now, but I haven't been there more recently to take another photo. This was the consultation that was carried out as part of the public consultation. And again, this was just, again, a slide that was shown to the planning committee during the consideration of the application. And again, these were the sections shown through Rampton Drift and considered as part of the application in terms of showing the separation, the retention of the trees, and how that would look here, and that relationship was considered. The education campus, this is a plan that shows the phasing. Phase 1 is the orangey colour, phase 2 is the pinkier colour. So the education campus has been being delivered on a phase basis, and as I say, that's being done by the county council under their own construction management process. So phase 3, which is now are 2 live applications. We're applying for applying for the principle of development using the evidence base, which hopefully will provide a framework for future development. It's not proposing anything detailed, but one of the things we will be considering is how to bring forward that framework through conditions, Section 106 agreements, and all those matters. This is one of the phase 3A master plans. Just so you know, where Rampton Drift is up here, this is Long Stanton, coming down to St Michael's, a new local centre, 2 primary schools, an outdoor swimming lake where the old runway used to be, retention of all the tree belts, a new military, retention of the military lake, and creating buffers and zones around that. and a new roundabout for the Southern Access Road West, which is already being built, and that is what is being proposed for phase 3. Lots of detail, sadly, lots of planning documents to read, something like 700 odd documents, but that's unfortunately the nature of planning in the way, the legal process that it is. This is phase 3B, which is on the other side of the B1050, which comes around, and then phase H, parcel H1 is here, and this is the woodland copse you can see in the middle of the field. As I say, this has been part of the 2018 local planners now unallocated site. There are 2 other parcels, one called Digital Park and one called Endurance Estates. Both of those we know roughly what's being submitted, Digital Park is a live planning application. We think there'll be some amendments soon, and Endurance Estates we're expecting very shortly. Both of those form part of the wide reserve land allocation. So Digital Park, this is the master plan currently. It's been through a current design review, so it is we're expecting some amendments shortly. And Endurance Estates, this is a master plan that's been previously shown to the community forum, in the Northstowe Community Forum. And again, we're expecting some changes, but again, those aren't in the public domain at this moment in time. So we're aware of a wide range of issues. First and foremost, COVID or coronavirus, as is also known. There's a wide range of issues. Developers stopped for a while, certainly on the parcels of phase 1, but obviously they're now coming back. There is social distancing. That does mean there are kind of changes in working practices, and we're all adapting to those. Extensions to hours, the government has set an expectation that extensions to hours are looked at favourably to ensure that the economy keeps going. We are aware of the issues that have been happening in the past, but obviously enforcement and monitoring is being seen as a much more of a resolve the problems rather than a preventative measure, so to speak. So we are being encouraged to work differently, particularly on enforcement, than we previously were due to the changes as a result of coronavirus. So further questions, and these are some of the things that have come out of the questions from emails prior to the meeting. So this is how phase 2 will be built. So phase 1, which will be the peninsula, we will be building the older person or the age-restricted accommodation, and then it will work its way to phase 2, which is this bit, phase 3, phase 4, and then phase 5. But obviously these also depend on sales, and I'm sure Urban Smash can talk more about that. Again, the site compound will be on the peninsula for initial phases, and then it will move across to where the marketing suite is at this moment in time. This is the reference number if you want to view the documents, which relates to the site compound details. The access route for all the vehicles will be through the Southern Access Road West. It is largely complete as an actual piece of infrastructure. It's not connected at the moment for normal traffic, but construction vehicles are using it and can use it. So the delivery vehicles, so this is directly from the construction management plan. So this is how people will access it using the existing airfield road and the Southern Access Road, and links being created and already in place. Other aspects, and this is hopefully I think my final slide, working hours. You can see here, mindful of what I said earlier about this, but these were specifically conditioned as part of the approval. So it's 8 till 8 on weekdays, and 8 till 5 on Saturdays, with no working on Sundays, bank holidays, or any other public holiday in such that may exist at the moment or may come forward. Again, we've also conditioned that there should be no audible beeping reverse alarms. We know how annoying that can be, so we've tried to ensure that and alternative systems are used. And finally, and I know this has been a bugbear for many people on Rampton Drift, there should be no vehicles associated with the Urban Splash development coming up Rampton Road for access or deliveries or any other reason. That is the end of my presentation. Apologies if that's a whistle-stop tour. I'm happy to answer any further questions, but Chair, that's over to you there.